All right, so it is the next day after getting that steering wheel bracket all welded up. We're gonna try to get everything back in this car that, you know, was taken out. I'd like for the blower, AC, everything, heat, I'd like all of that to work. Up here in New England, sometimes we have drift days that are cold. It rains all the time, so I need the blower to be able to use the defrost, all that stuff. At least I would like that. I know there's some people out there that don't run all that stuff, but I'm gonna try to put it all back in. Try and make it nice, and yeah, try and take you guys along the journey of getting the entirety of all of this lined back up. Ended up getting my dad's old tank swapped out for a new one. So I've got a big tank of 75, 25 here. This little one's about to run out. So I was looking at some of my old videos. I was kind of getting the process of putting this back together fresh in my head. So I think next we might do the bracket for the ECU slash blower here. So the blower, I believe, well, this here, this bracket, I gotta go get the other bracket that lines up with that. This piece here, we gotta figure this out. This bolts right into there. That little hook clips into this. The blower actually, I think, bolts into that second hole here. So, and then this would be, I think, is ground. But we've got to figure that out. The new dash bar for the cage kind of sits a little bit far forward in comparison to the stock one. As you guys can tell, it's covering pretty much the majority of the like AC, like blower vent area. So I'm gonna have to get creative with the vents later, but with that being placed farther forward and a little bit down, it's about, I would say, an inch farther this way, and then it's down, I would say, a half an inch. I'm gonna have to figure out where this bolts up to the point where that blower can also bolt onto this. The blower pegs into that peg right there, but I've also got to get it to bolt onto this here. The ECU bracket also ties into the chassis. So it bolts up here to the dash bar, but then it also bolts into the chassis down here. So I can use this as a bracket to line everything up. That's basically what I'm gonna end up doing. This is the bracket for the ECU. It's bolted here, and then it gets bolted up to that there. That's where the old dash bar sat, and this is where the new one's sitting. So what I need to do is get some material to weld from here to here. I have some flat stock at the house, so I think I'm just going to use that. As well, I'll get the blower in here and make sure everything's lined up where it needs to be, and like hook the blower up. It screws into this unit here to seal this vent, and then it also clips right there. Do something like this, tack it on like that. Welded this outside of the car. Not very, not super pretty, but again, no one's really gonna see them. So I'm still learning. I just learned how to like set my gas settings, and I guess they were turned up really high yesterday. But also, we gotta get the blower in here too, make sure that's in the right place real quick, and then we'll tack it in place. All right, so just got that second plate tacked to this, and then also tacked to the dash bar. And this is not going anywhere. So I'm gonna weld this out, and then that is it for ECU and blower mounting. So not too hard, but yeah, just gonna weld that out and take them there. So in order to get this center section to fit, I've got to lop off about 3/4 of an inch off of either side and also knock off the front portion. This has got to be leaned back a little bit more than the dash bar will allow. So, all right, so I got everything in. Everything's trimmed. Right now I just bent the back tabs. I'm gonna weld these to the dash bar, these back tabs, and then I'll tie them in with a little bit of flat stock up front. Should be good to go. Coming along pretty easy. I might end up working on this bracket as well that holds the top of the AC unit in. All right, so got that side welded on. Just gonna do this side real quick, and then we'll tie in the fronts. All right, so now we got those fronts tied in to the dash bar. Not terrible, not terrible. So yeah, this, it's not going anywhere. I did use the AC unit to line everything up, and yeah, that is, should be where it goes. Yeah, starting to look like a car again. We are done welding the dash bar up. So we got the ECU / blower mounted. Not the prettiest welds in the world, but you know what? That is not going anywhere. We've got the top of the AC unit mounted in now. We've got the center console. And then there is another tab on this driver's side that we just got in as well for the electronics. Let's see, just got that one in, pretty ugly again, but it's in there. Nobody's gonna see it except for you guys, so yeah. It's definitely, it's very satisfying welding, even though it might not be like the best welds. I am just happy that I am able to do it. So right now, we're at a point where we've got the blower under there. We're gonna start mounting stuff up, back up. So gonna basically be routing this mess of wires. I did unclip. There's like a little clip back there with that little arm. You gotta flip that down, and that's like for your door harness. And then this will come out. So now I can basically fish the entire harness back up through and over this dash bar. I just painted the dash bar and everything up here. So done welding up here. We got every tab welded back on in its stock location. So that's all good. All right, back at the shop today. I have to get this harness rerouted around the dash bar. So I think that's what I'm gonna work on. After I do that, I am then gonna get this steering wheel shaft up. We're gonna take this steering wheel off just to make the dash install that much easier. And also we are going to be ditching this steering wheel today. So yeah, that is gonna be something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I've just wanted to have an airbag in the car until I got the cage in the car. So I knew I was going to be caging it at one point, but because I do street drive it and whatnot, I did want to have that airbag in there. So, and yes, I will be street driving this a little bit with the cage. Not really the best thing to do, but we'll try and be safe while we're doing it. All right, so we're gonna crawl in there and start rearranging some wires. Gonna cue in a time lapse for that. All right, so basically have the harness all routed to where about it needs to be. Still gotta button up this side. Down here, got my little black box there. I don't even know if you guys can see that. That is zip tied right there and down there to the intrusion bar. And got the big dangly cables coming from the engine bay. Those two brown and black are the ECU. This white connector is gonna go up into this guy. And then we've got the door connector here. That gets plugged in over here with this little flip up tab here. And this harness is what runs along the door here. That will get plugged into here. So with that, but yeah, slowly but surely we're getting this thing all plugged up, hoping to start test fitting the dash today. All right, so everything is routed. Basically had to disconnect this box from here to route it back up over the steering shaft, but everything is routed. Gonna hook up the steering shaft real quick and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so steering is hooked back up. It is definitely pushed back farther. I'm gonna just toss the seat in there. I want to make sure that isn't too low, considering how the fitment is with all of the AC stuff there, and you know, with the center console. I just want to verify if this is too tall or not. I'm really hoping it's in a good spot, but if it's not, we'll figure it out. Alex told me that this would be fun trying to get this seat in here with the cage, so yep, let's try. Yeah, that's a pain for sure. Oh boy, I don't know, guys. This is not looking great. My seat doesn't even fit in here with how I used to have it set up. That's not good. All right, so got the front bolt in, got the back bolt in, but the seat is kind of like getting pressed up by the cage. All right, I really hope this isn't too low. I know it's going to be a pain to get in with the cage though. Oh, yeah. Damn, dude. I really messed up. This is bad. This is really bad. The wheel is centered, but it is not where it needs to be. As far as up and down. And this is as high up as it goes. And it goes like into the seat. So I really fucked that up. My main idea with, you know, looping this stock thing up under here and like bolting of the chassis was to get it, you know, the side to side correct. But clearly this dash bar is that much lower. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna probably have to grind all of these welds down on the sides of here, on either side. If I can get that loose, then I can probably try to find a way to maybe rotate that a bit forward. Yeah, when I was putting this together, I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing this kind of stuff, so I'm gonna mess up. But yeah, that unfortunately is not where it's supposed to be. I should have started with all of the electrical stuff first. I shouldn't have done that. That should have been the very last thing I did until I got a seat in the car. You live and you learn. So, you know, what I'm going to have to do is do the damn thing, and I'll get back to you guys once I got some progress. All right, so with a little persuasion, we ground down the welds on either side where I had welded previously, so don't gotta worry about that anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out where it really wants to be mounted and take from there. All right, so we got a game plan going here. I'm gonna end up bolting the steering shaft to the bracket first, and then we're gonna get somebody else over here, hopefully, where I can hold it where it needs to be and they can tack it in. Gonna end up getting the seat in here before I get this tacked up, but yeah, I'll be able to move this around and pivot it how I need it and place it how I need it, and then I can tack it into position and call it good. All right, so got the seat back in there, got some wood and a scissor jack, and we're gonna put this right about where we want it. I need something pushing up from the bottom so I can actually like pull down from the top so that this seats up to the bar, and then I will tack it on there. So in the car, got the scissor jack, got those holding it up. I had to hold this down while I clamped this onto the dash bar, but that is basically where I'm going to want it. Steering wheel is mounted back up to the dash bar. Ignore the little bump on the left side there, but yeah, I actually used a plate to tie it into the dash bar a little bit more, so that is definitely a lot stronger than it was. Looks a lot uglier on that side, but yeah, that should be where I need it. You would think I would have learned to, I'm like thinking about this now, I think I would have learned to just tack weld it on and then test fit the dash, all that stuff, but yeah, we can still cut it off if we need to. So yeah, gonna test fit the dash and update you guys in a bit. All right, so first cut, I just cut this out, the little speaker mount there. Cutting that out, I'm hoping that'll be it. But yeah, it's not going to be. So I'm going to keep test fitting it and trimming what I need to, and then I'll let you guys see the finished product. All right, so not sure what my phone captured yesterday, but I think the video like got corrupted or something. It's kind of weird, but right now getting the dash all trimmed up. Just kind of want to show you guys what I've trimmed so far that's getting it to fit. Basically cutting around these clips so I can reuse the speaker cover to cover up the bar, but we had to cut right up next to that clip, and then on the bottom here we had to cut off like the bottom mounting tab for the dash, unfortunately, on either side. As well, because my steering shaft is like not exactly where it was, I had to trim out this piece here on the back side. It sticks out quite a bit. As well, we trimmed, that's some of the bracket for the airbags, so that could fit over the dash bar and the wiring. But yeah, gonna get this in the car pretty soon and update you guys from there. Got the dash kind of mocked up. That's about where it sits. I'm gonna have to take the dash back out again and get under here and do all the vents up and stuff. But now I can stop scratching up all these bars These here I'm gonna have to redo and wrap them with clear vinyl. I'll wrap those with clear vinyl after I paint them, and then we'll get this back in. All right, so I just kind of want to show you guys where I'm at. I've been trimming this up as well as that there. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've had to like trim the front portion of this down. This is where it like seals to your vents. And I've also had to grind out some of that to get my vents to fit. So my plan basically is to try to seal this up with some more foam and possibly some aluminum tape. Not gonna be perfect, but if you guys can see, we only got like a little bit of air back there. Everything else is actually like sealing up against the foam on the bottom. So I might trim a little bit out of the center here, and then we'll just end up trying to get this all sealed in there, zip tie this down. All right, so just got done test fitting all the vents, started adding some foam to seal where I cut away. And now we are going to start painting the bars that got all messed up from putting taking the dash in and out, and then as well paint these up because I've been getting in and out of the car, and then we'll put some clear vinyl over it. Right here also added a couple strips here to seal the vents up, and some aluminum tape. Can't really see it behind that. Yeah, we sealed up pretty much all the way around it, around the vent, so it is completely sealed and all the air is going to be coming out. And yeah, all the vents fit. We got defrost up here, screwed back in, and good to go. Just taped off the car again and repainted the door bars and the down bars, both down bars. I don't know what that bar is called, but yeah, no more scratches, looking nice. Just gonna wait for this all to dry, and then we'll come back over with the clear vinyl wrap, start wrapping the bars that are gonna be coming into contact with, you know, the dash, passengers, me getting in and out, the harness bars, and, you know, other bars that I'm gonna grab onto. Just got done with the clear vinyl on this side. Yeah, might redo the door bar. Got the door bar on this side done. This is vinyl, clear vinyl from Amazon. All right, so just got done wrapping the door bars, these bars here, and the down bars on both sides. So now I can get the dash in here. Gonna do that tomorrow. It is midnight right now. Got the harness bar on the driver's side, gonna do the passenger side, and then we'll see what else I do. Yeah, I'll update you guys in a bit. Back at the shop again, just got the wiring all done. This thing is completely wired and good to go, basically, under the dash, and just got the ducts zip tied in. So now we are ready to put the dash in after putting in the vinyl, clear vinyl, where it's going to contact on install. So pretty sure that's everything I've got to do under the dash. I'll do a quick second check, but yeah, everything is hooked up. So let's get this dash in here finally for the last time. All right, so just got the weather stripping on and the dash is in. Looking awesome, awesome. You can tell that the dash bar is pushed back with this gap here. I should be able to cinch it up. I haven't done the top bolts yet. So I think that if I trim that down with like a Dremel right there and then bolt that up, that'll slide forward and actually start to mate up really nice with this. So I am super pumped to be able to keep all my vents. Defrost is huge. Everything else, you know, whatever, but it is super cool to have everything hooked up. So now I'm gonna get some longer hardware for the front bolts and think we're gonna start getting everything put back together, guys. We're gonna get the carpet over here. We already got the seat over. We'll get the center console over and we will start getting it all back together. And hopefully we can start it up pretty soon, actually. This is coming along pretty freaking sweet. All right, so got the dash in. I got the 2 top bolts in and I've got the 2 screws in. I just wired everything back up. So all of my switches, everything else. And next we're gonna put the gauges in and start the car. Make sure it doesn't have any codes real quick before I get too far into this. Fingers crossed. Gonna try and start it. Nervous. And it's giving me crap that I don't have my key. Uh-oh. Yeah, saying no key. I'll have to figure that one out. That's fun. We'll see. I have there's like a part of the dash that's got a part so I can stick this into it and start it without the wireless connection. So I might go grab that real quick. But that doesn't care. All right. I don't know. I just put the clutch in and then started it.
Does the clutch have a safety switch?
It does.
So the clutch has to be pushed in?
Yeah, but it's still saying I don't have a key. So I don't know. It's running. Woo! Let's go. This car has been running for about 20 minutes or so. Still no codes. But yeah, I think we are pretty much good to start putting the carpet back in and all the plastics, everything. And yeah, take it from there. Car is ready to be put back together. So just gonna try to diagnose that no key issue. I think that was happening to me before I brought it over to the shop, so I'll bring that little key fob reader over here and see if that has anything to do with it. Connects up right here. But yeah, pretty awesome. Got heat blowing out of the vents and stuff. Did forget to connect the AC and blower controls, so I'll probably have to do a relearn on that, but looking pretty good. All right, back at the shop again today. Gonna be trying to see if these speakers fit. Yeah, we will see. I don't know. All right. Ooh. Oh, is that in the door bar right now? Yeah, I put it on very loosely, and I guess we could trim that up. And based on that, yeah, it dug into the door bar slightly. All right. I got this very loosely put on, but I can see already that is not fitting. This goes into here. So, yep, that's how far we can close the door. Gonna have to figure something out. I don't know if I'm gonna trim these up or if I'm gonna try and sell them and buy LRB cards. I got this panel in and trimmed up around there. A little generous on the bottom side, but yep. I also welded there's a little tab back there. I don't know what you guys can see, but this tab I welded so I can screw into it right next to this lever so I don't rip the dash out. All right, so got this trimmed out roughly about where I want it. And as well, I also just welded back in this little mounting tab here into the cage. So now the dash actually like pins into it. There we go. So now that lines up perfectly where the dash goes. And then the glove box also is going to have a solid anchor point for this. So glove box isn't going to get, you know, destroyed or whatever. The dash has got a solid point of security over here. Same thing over there. So looking pretty good. Basically get that around there. Pop it on. Very hard to do with one hand. Hold on. All right, so yeah, got that popped in, and that screw actually goes right here. So, nice solid mounting point for that. All right, so I just turned the heater on, but yeah, I'm gonna get the wheel. This is a GK Tech 350 mil. Gonna put that on the Energy Hub and see how it fits in the car with the seat. Time for me to sit in the car. It's not too bad. Let's hope that this is in a good spot. Alright, actually, kind of hyped on that. I thought this might be too close to me, but I think this is just about as deep as the stock wheel is. Oh, dude. Yep. All right, so I didn't really get it on camera, but I just redid my seating bracket very slightly. I moved the seat forward one notch, and I also lowered the front down to bring this away from the cage. Now we got like a 1.5 inch gap, so I might be able to even scoot it back again. But yeah, my head's nowhere near the roll cage now, so that's cool. Gonna have to get used to that seating position, but yeah, now the only thing left to do in this car is put the dang old carpet in and center console back in. So time to get this carpet in finally. Yeah, this should be pretty simple. Just gonna get in these foam pieces real quick, or the ones that I can, to level out the floor, and then we'll try to lay it in there. So I'll set you guys up on a tripod and get this done real quick. All right, so pretty cool. All the foam fits in here, even with the intrusion bars and whatnot. I zip tied my electrical box on top of my intrusion bar there, and this wiring harness is kind of going up right alongside it. It's zip tied to the intrusion bar. That in, these two pieces, and those, that all just levels out the floor. So when you do put the carpet in, it's not going to be all mushy and stuff. So, but yeah, gonna just button up a few things and get this carpet in. All right, so carpet is in. It's all clipped down except for the rear. And also I draped all of my wires up so you can get the carpet under them. Just made a little bevel right there so I can get my kick panels in. Should be pretty much right where I need it to be. Got those trim pieces in on either side. Looking really nice. All right, so got the driver's side pretty much all buttoned up aside from this little missing piece. I'll try and get that back on there, but we are looking good. Just got to get the glove box on, and then we'll start worrying about this mess here. Car is almost done. All right, so glove box is back on. Got everything all wired back up, and just putting together my new head unit that I bought. I'm gonna have my brother 3D print a gauge holder. Goes right about right there. And then we'll have a gauge right around here. Back at the shop again. Today we are trying to get these harnesses in. So I got the seat in and one of the lap belts. And that one just mounts to where your belt buckle would mount, to the side of the seat bracket. The other lap belt, I gotta get that bolted in the stock location right here. Gonna have to figure out the fifth point, and then I don't know how to do this bar, so we're gonna learn how to do that. After that, this car is essentially ready to get inspected and get out of the shop. So there is some other things that I need to do in here after I get it inspected, but this car is basically ready to go. Super exciting. Just gonna get these G-force harnesses on, and gonna call my buddy and schedule an inspection. So probably take this thing for a little drive as well, even though I don't have an inspection sticker. You gotta drive it, right? So just gonna take it for a little cruise after we set it up. But yeah, man, so satisfying. Let's just test these lap belts out real quick. Let's check it out. Maybe I need it tighter. On this side, it looks like. Yeah, I need it a little tighter on this side. I'm very skinny for these. But yeah, I think we'll do that. Alrighty. It's got the harnesses laid in. Just gonna attach these up real quick, and then we are done. Harnesses are in. All right, so just leaving those trim pieces out. The car is ready to be taken out of the shop, so I'm gonna drive this a little bit and bring it back over to my house. Got an inspection tomorrow, so yeah, gonna take this thing for a little cruise. All right, car is out of the shop. Full front interior is in, and well, still got to get the center console in, but we are caged. I'm gonna take this thing for a cruise and update you guys in a bit. Well, just took the car for a drive, no codes still, so the caging the 370Z saga is officially come to an end, or whatever this has been. Still got a few more things to button up in this car, but yeah, I think that's it. We're pretty much ready to hit an event, so I don't know if this is an outro, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please comment, like, or subscribe. I hope to catch you in the next one. Have a nice night, day, wherever you are. Peace out.